This is in the fresh. This is how we made it. This is how I made it, not we.
Where's your family from originally?
My mom had me in Chicago, and then my uncle lived with me for a while. We lived in an apartment, me and my mom and my uncle, and then we moved to a funeral home with my grandmother because she was dating the guy who owned the funeral home. And then we moved to LA, me and my mom, and we lived in Hollywood Hills for a while when it wasn't what Hollywood Hills is now. You know, it was a little more modest. After all that, we moved to Vegas with my stepdad from age 5 to 10, and then we moved here, North Carolina, and I've lived here since middle school to now.
When he wanted a guitar, we're like, okay, we got him a guitar. We didn't think anything of it until one day he comes out to me, he goes, hey mom, listen to this song I wrote. And I'm like, all right, you know. And he starts playing, I'm like, you wrote that? He just came in and he played it like it was nothing. He taught himself. He would be in his room for hours. We always thought he was on his computer and we could hear him fiddling around with music and stuff, but we didn't think it was anything. And then he played a whole CD for us.
What we heard basically is the same thing over and over and over.
So we'd hear da 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 da. He goes, Mom, he goes, you don't understand. He goes, I just wrote 3 songs in an hour. The songs just came to him constantly, just were in his head all the time. But then he would go back and try to perfect them.
This is where I do all the recording. This is where I write everything. Although I need a lot of arrows. Because it's like, no, that's not the bridge, actually, that's the chorus, so, arrow.
Getting the party started in here?
Getting it ready. Why isn't this turning on? Maybe this doesn't work now.
You did kind of fall down some stairs with it last night.
That's what hell is. Just cables. Plugging in. That's all you do in hell, is just have to plug in cables.
What's your last words here? All over my mind for another year. I gotta replace you, dear, before I get out of here. Get out of my clothes just for one night, please. You never call me home just for one night sleep. I never needed you to be my best watch and my here I go again. Here I go again. Here I go again. I know I never should have drank and left you weird messages. You probably let your new friends hear them. I can't believe I even loved you.
So the way that I met Stroik was, I think this was in the mid 2000s, maybe 2005, and I got an email from this kid who claimed to be a big fan of Ivy and Brookville and the Postmarks, who I had just signed to my label. And he started sending me his demos, these little, like, really low quality, crappy MP3s. There was such a charm oozing out of it. He didn't even know what sequencing was. He literally was playing his music with his fingers, and he wasn't going into a computer. I think that's what gave it its charm and its unique quality, but it's also made me sort of take a step back and think, like, I should probably run away. You know, like, this is not somebody that you're gonna sign to your label as your next, you know, big thing. But I was really intrigued. I want to see who this kid was.
I just record all kinds of stuff.
It's cool.
I got so many melodies. I mean, hello, Katy Perry.
Nothing sounded like him. I mean, he had sent me 50, 60, 70 ideas. They were all good, all totally unique. I was basically ready to sign Stroik.
So I remember vividly the first time I heard Stroik's music. I was in my apartment in New York, and Andy was playing his music in the background, and I stopped doing what I was doing, and I thought, what's that? This is incredible. This is unbelievable. Never heard anything like that.
So after a couple of years of back and forth pen paling with Stroik, Dominique started getting to the point where, shut up already. I'm tired of hearing about him. Just sign him already. So I offered him a record deal. I thought the perfect person to work with Stroik would be Bruce Driscoll.
We're down, but we're not out.
Andy called me one day and said, I want you to hear these demos by this kid in North Carolina. He's called Stroik. I just keep listening to them, and I fall asleep listening to them. They're like these odd dreamscapes. So I listened, and I was intrigued. They weren't releasable as is. And Andy was on the same page about that. The vocals were kind of buried under effects, and he played the drums by hand on his keyboard. Andy said, here's the deal.
Stroik could be on the edge of crazy. The juxtaposition of somebody who has nothing and yet believes that he has everything. So I guess a musical genius knows he's a genius and acts like he's a genius, and he believes that the world is just privileged and blessed to be, part of his experience. That's how he carried himself. And loving his music as much as I did, I drank the Kool-Aid. I really did. And it was intoxicating to be around somebody like that. I had never known anybody that crazy and talented and cocky and apologetic. But at the same time, I knew that if I was directly in the same room producing him, I would probably strangle him.
Andy was really clear and said, I want to sign him, but he deleted all the individual tracks. So there's no way I can fix any of these. So they would have to be re-recorded from scratch.
I called up Bruce. He's half Brazilian. He has this wonderful disposition. He can work with anybody. He's been in Ivy. He's been in Brookville. And I said, what if I sign this kid, Stroik? Would you be willing to co-produce with me his first album? But you'll be in the trenches with him. I said to Bruce, the only mandate here is you work remotely with Stroik, and you send me works in progress every day, and I'll call you guys up and give you my notes. So if you can do that, I'll sign him to a record deal. And Bruce said, absolutely.
Drew would be flown up by Andy from North Carolina to New York City, and Drew would come to my apartment, and we would spend every weekend recording these, trying to recreate his demos.
He was probably 20 years old, and it was a real challenge to get him to New York City, even for the first time, to meet him and have him sign the contract with my record label. In the days leading up to his arrival in New York, he kept saying in email to me, I know that, Ivy put you on the map, but when you sign me, I'm going to put you on the world map. I mean, he would say stuff like that and not tongue in cheek. And, I would sort of reply, ha, 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 ha. And he would, instead of giving me a smiley face, he would reply like, I'm serious, dude. I'm going to be the best thing that ever happened in your career.
When I first met Stroik, I thought he was exactly like his music. He was so innocent, so pure, so naive. He had such a sense of wonder that was intact.
I was already expecting this, enormous, handsome, confident dude to walk through my door. This little guy walks in apologizing, he's like 5'6", looking at me, looking up like, hey, it's so good to meet you, sorry. He's apologizing, sorry I'm late, I'm sorry. I'm like, what the hell happened to that guy Stroik?
I still remember the first time he came to New York and he was walking on the street and it was so intoxicating to see him just like a grown-up child. He was amazed at everything, the sound on the street, the colors, the building. And when he came to my loft in Chelsea, he was amazed at the brick wall, at the mirror, at everything. It was like always pure magic to him.
He wasn't big, he wasn't tall, he wasn't handsome. And I have to say, that sort of schizophrenia just made him even more appealing. It really matched the music, the kind of insanity of the music. I have to say, the second Stroik walked through the door of my apartment in New York City, I absolutely adored him.
And what's the chorus go like?
He was really like a little mad scientist. He really fit the part of the music that I envisioned. And the guy that fit that vision walked through the door.
Take off with me. Yeah, I know you're happy. Do you still get crazy? Or are you just fantasy? When I look around and I still feel this. When I look at you and I have no words. When I look away and I still feel this. Will I find a place that I might resist?
I should try to move out this year.
You should, man. It would be big. It's like there's two things that need to happen. Is you need to do that, and you need to have a band.
Yeah, I know, man.
You should rehearse more.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to play shows more.
Yeah.
That's my rehearsing.
Yeah, but you need to rehearse more.
Like on what? What do I need to work on?
Well, just like maybe it's not even, it's a little less of like the rehearsing, and it's like a combination of a little bit more planning, just a little bit, and
In the left lane, yeah.
and a little bit less drinking during the set.
Really?
Yeah, you shouldn't get as drunk, man.
My grandma said she couldn't even tell I was drunk.
Hey, pick? You pick? Pick anyone? I'll go home if you want.
No. You have a quarter?
I will.
Do you want a quarter?
No. I haven't had a quarter in years.
I sang on pitch for the most part.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, that's where the drunkenness came through.
I didn't sing in pitch?
Yeah, there was some, yeah. That's probably where your ear goggles were on a little bit. Your performance from last night was good, but like what you just did in your bedroom with the songs that you did on your keyboard, you probably, that would have been looser and a little bit more over the place because you had so much to drink last night.
But that's what I have to do to play live.
He didn't know the limit. And I knew how he had stage fright. And he would drink a lot. And I'm like, you can't drink before you go on stage. Maybe one to calm your nerves, but that's it. Because, he went to Chapel Hill, and I guess he sounded terrible. Well, my mom went, and she said it was not good. So we never had any inclination until we had a bottle of rum, was it? That we had in our cupboard for years. And so every now and then, let's have a drink. So we went to make a drink. It'd been probably like 8 months since we had a drink. I'm like, this doesn't taste like anything. So then I tasted it alone, and it was water. And Drew was only like 13. Wait a minute, you think Drew drank this? And he denied it. We never kept alcohol in the house after that. Drew went to Green Hope High School. He was caught smoking marijuana with his best friend, and they kicked him out. He went to counseling, and then he didn't want to go back. So I think he was just embarrassed. His friends kind of fell through the cracks. We tried to force him, but you can't really force somebody to go to school if they keep walking out the door.
I've been looking at you all day. I see spots of light going through me. To you, I go the other way. I know what I have to say to you. I hear footsteps at night. It keeps me up all night. What do I do?
I hear your footsteps at night. It keeps me up all night. What do I do?
What do I do at my job? Well, I work from 8 to 5, sometimes 6. We build vending machines. I drive a forklift, That's fun.
And when I met him at 20, he was working in a factory.
He, had too many DUIs and lost his license, so his uncle's driving him to a factory every day. I think he had huge issues with alcohol.
And unfortunately, alcohol, I think even small amounts of alcohol, really corrupted his brain.
He was probably on the spectrum. He might have been bipolar. These are all just things that I sensed.
While he was under the influence, he was absolutely a maniac, really intolerable.
When he would drink, he would become angry. He would call me on the phone and be screaming and yelling at me. And that's why we made him move out, is because he started being angry. If he didn't drink, he could have lived there forever.
I was having trouble with Drew because he wasn't going to play live. He said someday he would, but he wanted us to get the music out there. And he didn't understand that the radio guy might say, the song's great. When is he playing live? The people we're trying to place his music with, in movies and TV shows, they'd say, well, it could really go well with a lot of stuff that we're working on, but we don't hear anything on the radio and we need to see him play live. So the radio guy wasn't going to get behind anything until he knew there were live shows. The venues didn't want to book him because he didn't have anything on the radio yet. So it was a bit of a catch-22. What was really pushing it over the edge is that Drew wasn't interested in playing live at all. The couple live shows that he did were absolute disasters.
I like people who get really drunk.
I like the replacements and the Pogues.
But those, it's like those guys had a reputation, and then that
Could be mine.
Well, no, I mean it's like they had a reputation to play live, and then it's like they got the reputation to.
I get 100 just for to be honest.
Play, oh play.
I get the fun.
Bang for your buck on that.
There's class, I'm good to play.
I switched gears and I said, okay, you know what? Here's an iPhone. Find a friend, have him film you just lip syncing, and just send me the clips. And that was a huge deal for Stroik. He's like, I can't do it. He came up with a million reasons why he couldn't or didn't want to do it. And he would just say, get my music out there. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Just put my song out there. I'm like, well, you can't just, what do you mean out there? He didn't want to do social media. He didn't want to play shows. He didn't want to film himself. It just didn't make sense from a business side. We have a finished record, which Bruce and I co-produced. He was starting to explode in slow motion, and those fragmented pieces were coming in emails and crazy voice messages. Very threatening emails. I can deal with drunkenness. I can deal with a lot of stuff, but I can't deal with, I know where you live, or you're going to be sorry. I'm going to make you sorry. I might look small, but I can do a lot of damage. Look, I've got kids, I've got a relationship, I have friends, I'm producing bands, I'm running a label. I don't have time to try to figure out whether this person is actually psychotic. But I do know that I've never received such threatening, crazy, unstable emails as I did for those few years after I signed Stroik.
If you don't help me get my link to Jimmy Iovine or Scooter Braun ASAP, I'll be very mad and want to hurt you, but won't, but might. I have magic in a drawer and I will have the decision soon. Why the fuck doesn't anyone fight for me when I'm the fighter for good? Huh? Why, bro? Right, bro? 'Cause we're bros. I would fucking throw my career in a swamp for you. How's your fucking house in Malibu? I need to be a part of the world or I will seriously have to kill myself. I'm literally losing my mind, Bruce. I tried to kill myself last week and was somehow saved by Gary. I'd fucking die for you and I get fucking nothing. I'd be guessing I'm homeless in about 10 years. And oh, I'll be spending 60% of my future line-cook dishwashing pay on amphetamine, which lasts 12 hours, makes ideas explosive, and sex, or jacking, better than description. Do you want to make an honest, right decision and help someone who earned it? Or do you want me to be bitter for the rest of my life after what happens towards you? Sincerely, Drew Walker Stroik.
You know, the 100th email I read, and he said something crazy, and I'm like, what? You know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm really angry because I put in a lot of work and effort and love and blood and sweat and tears and fear into this relationship. But at that point, I just said, I'm done. I said, Drew, I'm giving you your record back. No strings attached. Most labels would keep your record. I'm going to give it back to you. I love you. I really do. And I think you're the most talented person, the most talented, the smartest, the most creative, the quirkiest. Like I still do this to you despite everything we've been through, but I'm giving you your record back and you have to go in your own way.
Bruce responds, our role in your life should be as a mentor, but instead of viewing all our time together as an opportunity or a stepping stone, you're often sending very hurtful emails. My sincere hope for you is that you give up drinking permanently. If what you send are drunk emails, then I'm sorry, Drew, but alcohol is a cancer in your life. Press pause on sending these emails. They don't help. Sort out your life and just know that I've always been rooting for you. Bruce.
The humidity so high I could almost get inside an old placement of my flight. Uh-oh. Miss the desert like a friend. Oh, I'm going once again. Wanna see you once and for all. Like a kid who knows his place but must follow other ways. There will be a hymn I sleep with. That's just the way I think about you. That's just the way I get around you. That's just the way I am without you. That's just the way I think about you. That's just the way I get around you. That's just the way I am without you.
It was the day before Thanksgiving. I was driving in my car and I got a phone call, and it was my mom's friend who lived across the street. And so I thought it was about my mom. She was like, Connie, I really hate to tell you this, but Drew's gone. And I'm like, what? Apparently, he had been there for a week and nobody knew. And the thing is, I was giving him hell that whole week because he wasn't replying to me. And I was like, go see your grandma. It's her birthday. Like, what are you doing? I thought he was drinking, you know? And so I'm giving him hell, and here he is gone. And it's like, I was so upset because I was like, I hope his last message wasn't from me being upset with him that he wasn't going to see his grandma in the hospital.
Help me find a way to fill these empty hours. Say you will come again tomorrow. The daughter of a captain on.
Love that song. Why aren't these turning on?
I found out Drew had died from his mother, Connie. She had been posting his songs on TikTok with pictures of him, and the response she was getting was just so big and warm and positive. I just wish Drew could see it. She was so sad that he wasn't there to see it.
I got a text from Bruce, and it said, Drew died.
At first I thought he must have killed himself, you know, because that's the kind of tragic Greek play that this would have been, you know, that the world didn't appreciate him and so the world didn't deserve him. So when I found out that he died accidentally, it was even more heartbreaking in a way, because it wasn't the Greek tragedy.
And that was the end. Stroik's music is just too important to sit on the shelves and collect dust. His story needs to be told.
It took me a long time before I could even listen. I couldn't hear any of his songs because it was really hard. And but I thought, this can't die with him. It just can't die with him. But then it's like a double-edged sword. I don't want him to become, everybody love him and he's not here to see it. So it's like double-edged, but then I don't want it to go away, and that's it. He did all this beautiful work and it's gone forever.